We're live. This is the Common Hall and Round Table Discussion. I am your host, AC Delco, and, and we have Sean, aka
Hmm.
Stay Puppets, in the building.
Stuff like
Remo,
that.
who is having technical difficulties,
We
is
gonna
in the
rock.
building.
We gonna rock with it.
And Chris, live from the 616, is in the building.
Yep.
Al will be joining us later. X will
All
be joining
right.
us as well. And Larry will be in the building tonight.
Oh man, this is a special treat. Larry
Yeah,
showing up.
You know what I'm
Real
saying?
hot.
Brother Crockett
Real-
now.
He probably gonna come on. He probably gonna come on to talk praise on that A&E biography of Shawn Michaels.
Oh, that did beat last week?
Yeah, it was last week.
How was it?
I'm gonna have to watch
I didn't even watch it. I was too busy watching the DMX Uncensored on TV One.
it. Like, oh no, I didn't see it.
I already
I
know
love
about Shawn Michaels, so I ain't need to watch it.
And what they gonna tell me?
Barbarian is in the building. What's up?
What's happening?
They're not gonna tell me nothing new about Shawn Michaels.
No,
You didn't already know.
Right.
All right, so out the gate, our favorite segment.
oh boy.
You must be
Ooh.
out your damn mind. And boy, have I got something for y'all tonight.
Mm-mm.
You can get ready to have a good time. Let us find it. Boom! I have no idea what the hell this book is.
Whoa.
What?
0, 1, 2, and 3.
What?
All 9 nines.
What the fuck is this?
I have no idea.
Who is
Zidane?
this?
Zidane?
I thought that was the symbol for your drum set, man.
That looked like it's something straight out of 1993, man.
A New York Comic Con exclusive comic book from when?
That looks like an old label too.
Boy, this is a Google search waiting to happen. Who is Zidane? I ain't never even. That look like a Rob Liefeld wannabe cover. Like,
That must be out of that book is definitely out of my price range. Because I
You know
don't
what-
know nothing about it.
you
I
want
know
to
nothing about
know? You want to know why it's a 9.9? Because ain't nobody ever touched it.
it.
Ain't nobody-
Barbarian already claimed. He already claimed it.
Ain't nobody ever laid hands on it. That's how it's a 9.9. It went from the printer to CGC. That's how it's a 9.9. You know,
That's insane.
they
Somebody's
ain't
gonna have
never
to
touched
enlighten
fresh
me on the
out.
significance of this book because I don't want to sound ignorant, but I don't know nothing about that.
I don't
book.
know. I don't know nothing about
Yeah,
that.
hey, bro, I am stumped. So
One of a kind.
maybe G-Man, if you watch a replay of this, G-Man, you can maybe you got this, but we know nothing about this, brother.
It says special. It says one of a kind CGC set signed by all artists included.
It's got a website. Well, I'm assuming it's the same one. It's the last Asayers. Wow, that's a lot going on there. No, it doesn't look like it's the same thing. Never mind.
Hey, at least they gave free shipping though.
I
Oh,
was gonna make
because
an offer for $2.
Look like it was 2015. Well, I see early articles on it. New comic book on the block.
I said they got a Facebook page. All right, here we go. Yep, that's that art. There it is. Ain't nobody updated this Facebook page since 2019. And in 2019, they were dropping issue 4 at New York Comic Con.
When I saw that day, I just automatically started laughing. I was like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna like it."
Must be something I'm missing out on.
This
Alright.
is a straight independent book that was ain't.
Well, $100 grand. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man.
That's what you. There you go.
Come on, man.
Oh,
10.0, man. Wouldn't I just got into comics and bought a slab and spent a gang of money on it is going on here.
So let me get this right. They really think that saying that it's a 10.0, and that there are only 14 10.0s in the world is a good selling point? not that the comic book is rare, but because of the grade on the comic book is rare, you want to buy this comic book. You can get the comic book anywhere, but you can't get a 10.0. They ain't but 14 of them. So
how much is the sales on the other 13 if there are any?
Right. For that much money,
they selling.
For that much money, I might be able to buy all 14 other 10.0s in the world. I don't know. What I might like. That's. Don't get me wrong. The Killing Joke is great, and it's cool that he got a first print. But see, my question is, the Killing Joke wasn't a one-off, right? It was, if I remember right, the Killing Joke was a couple of issues. It was like 3 or something like that. It wasn't just one. Was it one?
It's a one-off.
Okay,
yeah,
so
it's a one shot, and there's like 4 or 5 different printings of it.
Right, so it's a one-shot trade paper. Yeah, okay, definitely fam. So Killing Joke was a one-shot trade paperback you picked up, and you got a first print that's a 10.0. If I'm not, where was this book kept? Because Killing Joke came out in the 80s, 90s?
Between 1988.
Yeah,
88, right. So
that time, 87.
You're saying you got a first print that got a 10.0 for a book that's 30 years old.
They kept it in between the Jesus mattress.
Yeah.
Right. It was in, the book. It was in Jesus' safety deposit box. That's where he kept it. That's why it's in perfect condition. You mean to tell me you got a 30-year-old comic book that got a 10.0 from CGC when I can't send a brand new comic book that was printed yesterday and get a 10.0? Come on, man. Get on out of here. Go on somewhere. I ain't Boo Boo the Fool. I don't Buffalo Shuffle for nobody. Yes, a boss. We going to the Piggly Wiggly because I ain't falling for that. Like, this ain't. Go on some man. Whatever.
Somebody bought that book. And this tells me somebody bought that book for a pretty penny.
Oh, somebody paid a grip.
Yeah. And they think whoever gave.
Wait. No, that was a 3 Jokers card on the back, wasn't it?
Was it?
No, that's okay.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. Just hey,
pull a fast one. Somebody pulled a 52 fake and got somebody to spend like $50,000 and told, man, this book's worth $100,000. And they were like, oh, okay, and bought the book and was like, man, I'm about to go put this on eBay and try and give me $100,000.
15 people, they're watching this fool.
So they want to see if somebody's stupid enough to buy it, so they can they're like, shit. If this one run, oh my god!
I got one. I got a copy. If he can get $100,000, I'm just saying.
If this fool sells this shit for $55,000, I'm selling mine.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking because I got mine right there.
Man,
hold on, man. I don't know if Al saw this, and I want to go back. Al just joined the chat. He'll be on in a little bit, but I want.
What's happening now?
Hey, bro, what you know about this right here, Doc?
What you know about that Z?
Zindaya, dog.
Zinedine Zidane.
Oh my god, man, that is absolutely brilliant. Dog. They put this one is gonna go in the annals of history right now, man. The unknown book for $100,000.
I'm serious. Like, I want to know if I'm missing something here. I don't want to seem ignorant and be like clowning, and this is some rare ass book. Like, I don't know.
Like I said,
I'm not paying $100,000 for it. And
exactly.
I found their Facebook page.
It might as well be worth $100,000, but I'm not paying that.
I found the Facebook page for the group, and I kind of want to send them. I want to drop the link on their Facebook page because I want the creators know somebody trying to make. They probably didn't spend that much money trying to make the 4 issues that they've made, and I wonder if they know somebody trying to get that. Like, I'm assuming they sitting on copies, so if somebody can get that much for it, maybe they can help them out. Hey.
Zindan.
Barbarian is saying if there's 14 of them on the census, then that means it was an easy book to be graded as a 10.
Right. Yeah, but for that,
there's 14 of them. That means that whoever got them at that Comic-Con took them straight, or they got them graded on site, and they were like, oh, 10, and they just holding on, and maybe somebody knows something we don't know. I'm not paying $100,000 for it.
What is that? I know the Killing Joke has already got an animated movie that was released in theater. They're about 4 years too late to be trying to get that on the Killing Joke.
But
what about the Thunderbolts, man? That's a little bit cheaper than the
Thunderbolts. Like first of all, I feel like Stan Lee assigned everything that
he would have
in his face.
He would have.
And I'm like,
why would I wouldn't even want Stan Lee's signature on that book.
Yeah. It was a Kurt Busiek book. You know, him and Bagley did it. So I would be
good with the Mark Bagley, but that would be like,
why would I want? But you know what it is, though? This is a sign which kind of ties into the main topic for the night. This is a sign of what it is. People know, the general population know Stan Lee. So when they hear Stan Lee, they instantly think money. Mm-hmm. And if it's got Stan Lee's signature on it, it must be worth something. Because as far as the general public looks at it, Stan Lee created all of Marvel. So if Stan Lee's name on it, then it obviously must be worth something. Because you got Stan Lee to sign a Thunderbolts book. Why? There's no point. Like there's no care.
It's considering it's Thunderbolts, and Thunderbolts is getting more growing in the MCU with what's going on.
Right.
Of course, you got Thunderbolts book signed by Stan Lee. Of course, you're gonna put it on there to cash out on.
Yeah.
This is about $49,970 too expensive.
I got $350 for it.
I got $30.
I got $350.
I'll give you $60. I'll pay for what it costs to get it graded.
I'll give you cover price.
I'll give you $30 for that book. That book ain't worth it.
Tell you what, I'll cover the cost of the ticket it cost you to buy to get in to get Stan to sign it. That's what I'll do. I'll reimburse you your con ticket. That's what I can do for you.
Yeah, man. I pulled that book for nothing.
I have a Stan Lee signature on a trade paperback copy of the movie adaptation of the Hulk. I got Stan Lee's signature on that. And I ain't even trying to sell that for that.
I'd rather have him on that than on the Thunderbolts book that I know he had nothing to do with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know? And I have that plastic case around that Meow Mix box and be like, yeah.
I got George Perez to sign my DragonCon badge last year. I should throw that up on eBay, see how much I can get for George Perez's signature on a DragonCon badge.
Now, this Spectacular Spider-Man is rare because of no hologram. And I'm the type of fool that say, I want the fucking hologram than the one that just looked like a plain cover. So get that shit out of here for that goddamn price, man.
No. The thing about it is, Sean, it ain't even a 9.8.
Right. And it's got a green label, too.
What?
So that tells me dude pulled it out. He plucked out the hologram himself, or else they would know. Oh,
That's how he know there's only one of three without hologram, because he got 3 copies.
Yeah.
Yep. Because even if CGC was the grade that without the hologram, they still would be a blue label, and it would just say an error.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So that means he pulled them out.
Right.
Then he put a green label on it to try and make it seem like, it's green label, so it's not like it's something wrong with the book. Like, damn right, something wrong with the book. Ain't got the hologram.
Right, you took the hologram off of it.
Like, you took it off, fool.
Right. Ain't nothing special. Marvel didn't ship that without the label on it. Man, there's no
I told you. I said, boy, y'all gonna have two good ones tonight, boy.
Detective 27, first intro page. It's just uno. It's just one page.
One.
It's literally the first page of the comic book.
Is it a key?
The second page on the other side.
I mean, is it a key though? I mean, is it from a key book? Like,
I mean, it is. It's Detective 27 is the first appearance of Batman.
Okay, so,
but it's just the first page.
Okay, so could that be considered like
no?
Yeah.
Whatever your question is, the answer is automatically no.
You right.
There's no.
You right. I answered my own question. That's why I stopped.
So is he selling the rest of the comic book? Is he selling it page by page? Like,
that's what I'm saying. He can't even sell art.
Like, did he break it down and get each individual page graded, and he just trying to sell off the whole comic, but just in segments, in stages,
in increments.
He out there with you in California, Remo.
Yeah, he a fool out here in California.
I have so many questions. Like, I have so many questions, man. Like,
one page.
Who does that? You trying to sell me a page?
A page.
And it's not even the front cover either. You didn't even give me the cover.
It's not even the full appearance of Batman. It's a silhouette.
We call it a cameo.
That's not even the first appearance of Batman. That's just the cameo of Batman. Like,
I don't know. I don't. Like I said, that's. I'm not paying that. First appearance of Submariner.
Is that the first appearance of Submariner? 2004, number 4? Oh, Silver Age. Okay.
Mr. Steal Your Girl. That's what he is.
Because that's exactly what that cover is. That's the Mr. Steal Your Girl cover.
A 9.4 for $69,950. That seems a bit high still.
Wait. Is that 3 digits on the shipping? What is that? Is that $79, $80 for shipping?
Yeah, man.
Man, come on. The prices alone are ridiculous, but what you asking me in shipping on top of? You asking me for $70,000. Yeah. And you can't just give it to me for free? You can't ship it to me for free?
No, he gonna get his $70,000 by you giving him $70 in shipping. That's how he's gonna break his. It's like when that's like selling the house. Instead of saying $500,000, you say $499,999. You know what I'm saying? Just say $500.
Barbarian crazy. The JC Penney reprint.
It might be. That's closer. I mean, these prices, man. I mean,
I have to admit, I've been looking at these prices. We started doing these, and even Unslabbed, they have tempted me just to put a comic book on eBay just to see if I can get somebody to buy it at these prices. Because if people are really shopping around and spending this kind of money, I feel that I should get a piece of this pie also before it just goes out the window.
Are they really buying these books? Are we really seeing sales transactions taking place?
Hey, Remo, say that for later on.
Okay.
Say that for later on.
He's like, hold on, we gonna get there. Don't worry, we gonna get there. No.
Is that an error too, though? Is that an error?
No.
Or is that Gen 13? Okay, I see it in there. Okay.
Wildstorm Gen 13 #1 special Chrome edition. I remember when Gene came. I don't remember there being a Chrome edition, but whatever.
Says rare.
First print in the series.
Black US no. And $40 in shipping? No.
I have nothing to say with these things no more.
Yeah.
Look at
that's moving towards a 181 or a GSX one.
Me and my brother went down to Origins probably about 2-3 months ago, and he pulled out almost an entire run of the first run of Gene 13 comic book out of the 50 cent bin down there, including the first issue.
Yeah.
I'm not paying you $7,000. I'm not. It's not gonna happen. The bubble for them has long been gone. There are comic book readers now who have no idea who Caitlin Fairchild and Grunge is. No, I'm not paying you that much.
Man. I'll find it in the dollar bin.
I can find it in the 50 cent bin. Yeah. I'm not paying.
I'm not even interested in that book anyway. So
if I pay a full $1 for Gene 13,
hell no,
I'm getting 2 issues.
Hell no. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6.
Holy Grail.
For who? For who? Who's that at Holy Grail for?
At one point for him, I'm guessing. Or maybe issue 68 is the Holy Grail. First appearance of Boba Fett.
That's not even the first appearance of Boba Fett, though.
Maybe I don't know. Like
that is not that you correct. It is not the first appearance.
Yeah, I was just hoping for him. Like maybe
1, 2, 3, 4. I mean,
is that a Planet of the Apes? Is that supposed to be Chewbacca? Man, okay.
Yeah. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's
but they drew him before the movie came out, so they ain't know how he actually looks.
Exactly. That looks like
Darth Vader too. That's why his helmet's green.
that's Cornelius from Planet of the Apes. That was not Chewbacca. That looks rough.
That's about as bad as the 68 people think it is Boba Fett. So
right. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and issue 68, Holy Grail must see. 4 books for $100,000, but at least they give you free 4-day shipping.
4 books. That's probably about. I don't know, 3 or 4 grand.
Yeah, that's probably $5,000 at most.
About 5.
I feel like this again. This is one of them things you missed your shot, and you trying to steal cash. Like, yeah, Star Wars is hot, but that era of Star Wars is not what's selling now.
So sell them individually,
right?
And ask for top dollar.
Exactly.
And just keep relisting them. If they don't sell, just keep relisting.
Right.
Like,
who that?
And if they don't sell and they keep going up, you just keep raising the price. What they don't do, you just don't. But you're not going to get $100,000. Sorry.
Right. Not even remotely.
I don't.
If it ain't the Mandalorian nowadays, you can call it a wrap.
Or Boba Fett specifically.
Right. Or the child.
Next up.
Every warrior has a beginning.
I'm on a new level.
For 600 years,
Mm-hmm.
brought peace to the world.
I'm on a new level.
I need you. Join us.
What do I have to do?
The journey from here is yours to decide. But that is just the beginning.
I'm on a new level. I'm on a new level.
So is it retcon Snake Eyes?
No. From the way it looks, the trailer, they're sticking with their actual origin of Snake Eyes.
Okay.
From the way it looks. And you know what's messed up? I am more interested in seeing that than Black Widow. I watched both of the new trailers when they came out, and Black Widow's new trailer did not impress me at all as much as Snake Eyes did.
I wish they would have released
it. In a minute now.
Let us see it, and then we could have seen like maybe they did like a redo, like by now. Like say they released it, and nobody liked it, they put out like a re-edit by now.
Right.
Because I don't know how bad it was to begin with, and I don't want them going back and adding stuff if I knew it wasn't in there before. Like if they go back and add Omega Red, like that's gonna be some foul shit. But the Snake Eyes. The only thing with Snake Eyes is, if I'm not mistaken from reading the old comic books when I was a kid and watching the cartoons, like you've already lost me on the story because that's not what the story was. That's not how he, you know what I'm saying, came about. Like he lost his shit in the military, you know what I'm saying, while he was in duty. That's how he lost his voice and all that stuff. Like it had nothing to do with no being a ninja upbringing, like all that shit.
That was after the military.
Yeah, that was all secondary. Like there wasn't, and him knowing Scarlet and Scarlet being down with him and all that. Like
the story looks like it's going to be taking place like he's left G.I. Joe is what it looks like, and so it's kind of like not an origin story, but an origin story. It looks like
if he's
the way they're doing it.
The whole time he was at G.I. Joe, he couldn't talk.
Right, like he doesn't talk in the trailer.
It looks like a mess.
He talked to the guy. That was him the whole time, without the mask on. Yeah. You notice that?
The quick kick ain't in it. I don't want to see it.
For real.
Lord.
Yeah, because I mean that. I don't know.
I'm with you, Remo, about the deviation from the comic, and plus he did suffer his face injury while he was in the military, so we get to see his whole face right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder if he's ever going to suffer the face injury, because that was the whole mystique about Snake Eyes, that we never saw his face. He was always in a mask, and when he was maskless, they always shadowed his face, so we never saw it. Mm-hmm. And that's what led to his mystique. Now we know in the comic book, Snake Eyes was a white dude, and
Right.
they
always
kind of
made
alters it to
Yeah.
in this movie, to make it fit more for the Asian style of it, and I don't mind that, but
I do because that was the whole allure of Snake Eyes. He was like someone.
I know. I do think that, like I said, it's almost similar to when people were saying about the Iron Fist. Oh, they should make an Asian American play Iron Fist before they casted the guy who ended up being trash as Iron Fist. They was hoping for an Asian American to get both representation of it. But this one, it's like I said, I understood the change of it, but I just didn't like the change of Snake Eyes' background.
I guess I agree. I'm not really. I don't care what his cultural background is. I just knew that in the comic book he was I would say an American who was taken in by a Japanese clan and taught all that stuff. Like he was an orphan or something. I just remember him growing up, and that was the whole thing about him and Storm Shadow, is they weren't both Japanese. They were brothers, though. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the whole, that was the thing about it. So it's hard to tell that story. It was like American Ninja. You know what I'm saying? How the dude, remember American Ninja when he was in the military, and he was a trained ninja, but his brother was a Japanese dude that was an assassin. So it was the conflict of that. That's what I want to see. You know what I'm saying? I know they've already told that movie, but I mean that's Snake Eyes. You know what I mean? Like,
but overall, I just have, even with the trailer, I don't really trust them when it comes to Hasbro or Transformers or all that stuff. The trailer looks all nice and stuff, but at the end of the day, we might get Mortal Kombat with it. It's just like,
you're gonna see a spotlight at the end, and he looks up and it's fucking Megatron. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that happening before anything. So I mean,
because they really want to do that Transformers G.I. Joe crossover.
I know they do.
I would be okay. I'd be okay. I read the entire. But see, that's the time period when I was reading G.I. Joe, is when the Transformers and G.I. Joe did their crossover in the comics. And for me, the Snake Eyes origin was that he was still the white dude, but that he'd gotten adopted by the Ninja Clan. He got found and adopted by the Ninja Clan, and Storm Shadow was also, he was a part of the Ninja Clan, and they grew up as brothers. But Snake Eyes was always the white kid that
But he was favored because he was stupid.
Right, but he didn't talk in the origins when I was reading the comics. He didn't talk then either for whatever reason, and I think if I remember right, it was because most of Snake Eyes' training came from the Silent Master. And the story arc that they gave was that, and so that's why he didn't talk, because his master didn't talk. And so
that's even that would be retcon, because I know distinctly, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, in the comic book it shows him saving one of his brothers in arms. He's pulling him on the helicopter, and the door on the helicopter blows up.
Yeah, and
through the plexiglass, and the blast burns his face. And they say that's why he can't talk. And they told the whole story. It was a whole origin, like what happened to his mouth and his face. And that's what, prior to that, he was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, even in the last G.I. Joe, the other G.I. Joe movie or whatever, they talked about his origin.
Right.
He didn't talk in that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in 2021, he now talks. In the Bible where it says Jesus wept. So,
well, I mean, until we, like Sean said, until we see the movie, trailers are made to make you want to go see a movie, and until we see the movie, we don't know how those parts actually fall into place.
You tell me if Sean wants to go see that movie.
Well, I mean, Sean worried about getting Mortal Kombat.
I'll check it out.
I'm just not getting fooled, because we got hyped over the Mortal Kombat trailer, and then what we got was disappointment.
Look,
I'm definitely not going to the movie theater, but if it pops up on one of these streaming services, I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah.
My thing is, I watched the other two G.I. Joe movies. I might as well watch Snake Eyes.
No, yeah.
Like
I said, I'm not.
I went to the theaters on the first G.I. Joe movie. I did not go for the second one. I waited for video or whenever it came on TV.
Exactly.
Sean was like me. No, I'm gonna fall for the okie doke. After I saw Destro and all that, the Couple Commander the first time, I'm like, oh no, you won't get me with Destro
twice.
Yeah, right. I'd rather go watch rerun cartoons on YouTube than didn't get
Exactly.
disappointed by that. Like that hurt my feelings.
All right. Next up.
Trash. I'll just say it right now. It's trash.
Yeah, you could say
This is my first time seeing it. I ain't even watched the trailer.
I say either. You gotta say either. I say neither. And I say neither. Neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. Ta-da! Get some.
Excuse me.
Yummy.
it's,
Good evening, Eddie.
Hey, Mrs. Chen.
Good evening, Venom.
I'm somehow, Mrs. Chen.
He says hi.
okay.
Thinking about
All right, let me pause. Now, for y'all who've already seen Venom already, I'm gonna tell you how this movie to be hot shit.
Easy.
Watch it. That's the same cutscene from the first movie.
The prison.
Yep.
I've been thinking about you, Eddie. Because you and I are the same.
I'm just not with all the M. Night
Every
Shyamalan
decision.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Who do we leave behind? And how do we leave them?
Oh, look at that. They're tying in Ravencroft.
In the darkness. But the rescuer who never comes. Welcome back, Eddie Brock.
Same smashing Spider-Man.
It's been a long time. Miss you so much.
He gonna be the best part of this whole movie. You know that, don't you?
Soon come chaos. Chaos soon come.
Yeah, but
Is the loneliest number that you ever do.
The chocolate delivery hasn't arrived yet.
No!
We had a deal.
What's gonna happen? You gonna stop protecting me?
I am happy to eat, Mrs. Chen.
No, you cannot eat, Mrs. Chen.
What?
Nothing?
yeah.
You know, this shit right here makes me rather go read Maximum Carnage than to ever watch this shit.
Man, I'm telling you.
It's like Venom's in there gonna be like a second fiddle.
You know it will be.
I mean, look at Chance reaction. I mean, that kind of sums it up.
Yeah, ain't nobody impressed by that.
Not
I
at
didn't
all.
like that they made the first movie like a buddy comedy between the two, and they amplified it in this. That whole beginning part, man, like this movie gonna be trash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can't even figure out what you want to say, Remo. You trying to figure out.
I just want Venom to be evil and sinister and trying to basically take over. You know what I mean? Take over his host. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he wants the host to do what he wants to do, not joking around with him.
Gilbert Godfrey.
I'm right there with you, Remo. I'm like the Venom I like the most was the 90s Venom, you know, when he was an antagonist to Spider-Man and always, made Spider-Man fear him because Spider-Man couldn't sense him through his spider sense.
Exactly.
And Venom was a terror. He was a terrorized.
Yeah.
You know, he terrorized Spider-Man. And this movie, he's a joke.
And not only that, like he had a lot of Spider-Man's characteristics because he was attached to him. So he was he wasn't stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew how he was his chat. Like he was exactly him. You know what I mean? Like
Crocker is in the building.
I don't know, man. Current Venom. Well, yeah, if it's the current Venom, that's the same one that had Eddie falling for 3 days.
I don't even believe that he's based on the current Venom, man.
Yeah, like
it's way too hokey for me to say that even the current Venom comics are they that hokey?
No.
The thing that made Venom work was that the symbiote hated Spider-Man for rejecting him. Eddie hated Spider-Man because of he blamed him for his career going to tank. So they had something in common that led them that bonded them together through their hatred of Spider-Man.
But but Spider-Man also, like, Venom was mad that he, like you said, he rejected him, but he didn't. He split from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just like, he didn't want any parts of it. Eddie kind of just was like, yeah, take me, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
it's different when somebody gives in and somebody fights you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So it this doesn't. I mean, the first movie to me was okay, like it was all right or whatever. But this just doesn't work anymore because, like you said, it's more buddy cop.
Yeah.
Why is the symbiote trying to make him breakfast?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like exactly. That's ridiculous. Like that's.
The symbiote should take him out of the house. Like, let's go kill somebody.
Right. Like we have.
Yeah. If it was that, if it was where Venom was like a so-called anti-hero taking out bad guys, but the symbiote is taking it too far, and Eddie's like, man, you know, I agree with this, but at the same time, you know, the symbiote is consuming his own guilt of killing these guys, and he wants to get away with it, and it's that struggle between him and the symbiote.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see. But here it's like,
this is.
Man, we don't give a fuck about Null. Get that bitch out of here, man. I don't give a fuck about Null. Okay, I ain't reading Venom comics because I lost interest in Venom long time ago. And the only thing I liked about it was when Flash Thompson.
You got Flash Gordon.
That's basically
Flash Gordon. But other than that, I don't give a flying fuck about Null. All right, get that bitch out of here.
Right.
Tell Larry to jump on, man.
Hey, man, y'all got Sean edited up. So before we came on the Sean planned on saying he will be cool tonight. Now Sean is
he was not gonna rant. He was not gonna rant.
It ain't
even all these stories they've told about Venom has just like watered him down.
Yeah.
Every story they end up telling about Venom makes him softer and softer. Like, and he was a beast. Like, he was, you know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, I mean, granted, like Larry said, they retconned him with Null, like saying, but before that, he was the only one. You know, he was, and to me, he's still
a planet.
One. You know what I'm saying? Now there's a whole planet of them, and Null was in the middle of it, and the darkness or whatever, Clintar and all that. And I'm just like, man, come on, man. He got that symbiote from the fucking Beyonder, dog. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I just saw that Null and I kind of went off because I don't want to hear about
Null is bullshit.
No. Yeah, I don't want to hear that shit. I'm more of a fan of old school Venom, and I haven't been keeping up with Venom recently because I feel like Marvel is doing the same thing they did with Deadpool, and they trying to overexpose Venom by putting him in all these stories, having all these events around him, and I just got tired of him. And you know, like the whole thing with Null, I'm like, I'm not reading it, but I'm not going to base my history of Venom or for current stuff. I wanted the struggle of Eddie Brock and the symbiote. Like, after the whole thing with Spider-Man went down and stuff like that, there was an arc where he was literally struggling because the Venom was over consuming him. Exactly. And I wanted to see that play out in movies. If you're going to give us a Venom movie, at least do a sequel where he's struggling with the symbiote and then Carnage come out and handle him. And then he's like, man, we gotta get our act together, and stuff like that. They gotta work together.
They're doing that because, like Larry said, they retconned him with Null. So then, if you have Carnage, he's the one that's going to do the dumb shit that's going to bring Null. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, Remo, the thing about it is that you jump the shark.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying this by them bringing out Carnage is that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not. Just
they're painting that picture down that road. Down in the long run, they're going to end up doing the whole Null thing in the MCU, or not even in the MCU. Just if they try and do it, if Sony tries to do it, you fucked up. You already it's done. Like, don't even let it get that far because you're going to ruin it. You know, it's bad enough they're the ones in charge of doing this second movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, this is terrible, man. Like,
Yeah, I
the
mean,
first one was bad.
you got several different villains they could have used for this movie, and then they
Easily.
ran out and got Carnage right out the gate.
They could have used a Goblin, man. Like, both of them.
They could have done stuff, but they chose to go immediately to Carnage, which is what's going to be their downfall. Like you used essentially his big bad immediately instead of building up to him before you threw him out there. You could have told a couple stories. You could have went
You
lead the
haven't
protector
even
or
got
whatever.
a chance to use
Anything.
Spider-Man with him.
Bingo.
Right.
That's what Sean. Go back to what Sean just got. What Sean talking about.
You haven't even gotten a
Yeah.
We haven't seen Spider-Man
like
in the black suit.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember at the end of the last movie where Brock went to see Cletus in the prison and stuff. But I'm like, how did they establish this type of relationship? You know, where Cletus is calling his name and stuff like that.
Right. How often has he been going to see him since the end of the first movie?
Yeah, I'm like, and why is even Eddie going to see him? Like,
right. Like, why are you visiting him?
Did they show in the beginning in the first one? Because I didn't watch all of it.
Yeah, it was like a post-credit scene or something like that where he went to visit. And that's when Woody Harrelson had that terrible wig that looked horrible.
Is that when he bonded with Cletus?
Don't know.
Because in the comic books, they were both in jail together.
Trailer, like Cletus has always had Carnage in him.
No, it's like Sean said. The comic they exchange mail.
Yeah, Cletus was a psychopath, killing people.
I know, but
randomly.
they trying to
in the comics, their relationship was established being in the same jail cell together.
Yeah,
and then when
no, I know. What I'm saying is, do you think that they're trying to say he was that killer because he had the symbiote in him already? Because how are you gonna show him, like, if he's already in prison and then he goes to the executioner chair and then they bring out basically he turns into Carnage? That means he already had the symbiote in him.
Hey, in that first, the only thing I can think of is in that first scene when he was at the table, he had a letter in his hand, and I don't know if symbiote attached to a letter got to him in jail.
That's what I'm saying. It would have to. It would have to been a letter from Eddie, and Venom got,
There's some splaining that they got to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I'm not sure if I want to sit through it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How you gonna tell that story plus the story that the movie's about? You know what
I'm just saying we still ain't seen Spider-Man with the black outfit.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I want to see that. I want to see the whole black suit Spider-Man, his trials and tribulations of trying to figure out what the hell's going on with him, and then figuring out that the suit is alive, and then the whole process of him, basically muscling up the courage to get away from him. You know what I'm saying? And then getting away from, that's 3-4 movies right there of just Spider-Man. Like, not all this Far From Home and Wish I Was at the House and I Forgot My Key and all these different Spider-Man movies.
Spider-Man European Vacation.
Yeah, I don't want to see all that shit. I want to see Black Suit Spider-Man. You could pick up after Civil War and do like a Contest of Champions or whatever, or Secret War somehow, and him receive that case from he could be Shield or something.
There's a lot of ways they could have went about it instead of jumping straight to where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
one of those situations where he was in space doing some dumb funky shit. And he wasn't supposed to be up there, stole away or something, and he finds a symbiote and gets attached to him. Something, but they got to tell the story of a symbiote attaching to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man becoming, bad Spider-Man, and in moments, not all, but you know what I'm saying, the conflict between him. I want to see that conflict. I could care less about Eddie Brock and Venom. That's the least story I want to hear. Especially after going through a whole 2 years of the last 2 years of reading all this dumb fucking Venom and Eddie Brock shit, culminate to him falling for 3 issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm cool. Like, I could care less about Eddie Brock.
Well,
I'm tired of Spider-Man having a home in his title, like EPMD got business in
That's
their
what
title.
I'm saying.
It's ridiculous.
Man, damn. Get to the house. That's what you got to
do. Get home.
Go back to work.
Go to New York. Peter. Spider-Man went back to work.
Get back to work. That should be
Spider-Man. Get that photography job.
Yeah.
I ain't got
Spider-Man
shit
back in
for him.
business.
Stop working on the side and go make make an honest living.
Right. Before we get
HBO
to
Max announces Batman Cape the Crusader animated series.
this was nothing but a matter of time.
Chris, go ahead. This is in your wheelhouse.
This wasn't nothing but a matter of time, dude. Like,
I'm here for it.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it because I think it's actually gonna be good because of the people who are involved in working on it are gonna make. They're the same people that made the animated series, so I don't doubt that we're gonna get a good show. But the fact that there is going to be another Batman animated series, you know what I'm saying, was just a matter of time. Because they know what they know what banks, they know what makes money, and they know Batman makes money. Batman puts asses in seats. And
Bingo.
I can hear Larry.
Bingo, Al. Bingo. Exactly.
I can hear Larry right now saying, "Break glass in case of emergency. Break glass. Get Batman."
right. You know, but I
We gonna
can't.
watch it.
But see, I'm different because I don't blame DC for doing it. I blame us. I blame the general population who crave another Batman animated series because all they know is Batman. Instead of them, wanting, they see the characters that get introduced on Batman. Instead of wanting another show involving other characters, they just like, give me another Batman. I don't want nothing new. I just want to keep seeing Batman. So I don't, it's like Call of Duty. I don't blame them for keep making new ones because motherfuckers keep buying them. Like, if you don't want to keep seeing it,
this was their bread and butter. Like, they should have did this a long time ago. Like, you could have kept it going. Like, you know what I'm saying? Every couple of years, put out a new one. Like, people.
True, but think about it though. Television has changed. If they'd have kept putting them out, where they're going to show it? Most people don't have cable anymore. People have streaming.
Now
service.
you have a streaming service. You don't have an excuse.
Well, and that's why they're doing it. They have a streaming service, so they're doing it now.
That's the way they could have done it because.
It's their property. I don't blame them for not putting it on Netflix because it's ours. We want to make sure we can do what we want to do with it when we want to do it, and not have to worry about an intermediary. So they waited till they had the perfect vehicle. So I don't blame them for putting it on the streaming service. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I see why they waited because television, how people view television has changed since Batman the animated series went off the air. So they had to figure out and wait for a new way to get this to them in order to be able to cash in on it again. There he is.
There he is. There's my boy right there.
There he is.
He back there playing Street Fighter.
Right.
Hey man, I had to jump in, man, because Chris, you know I love you, brother, but you going way left center field on this one, bro. So I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna be like Kanye. I'm gonna let you finish, and then I'm gonna go ahead.
No. Hold. Let's hear your thoughts.
Right.
Because I was gonna reply to Chris because I agree with him on something, but I want to hear what you have to say about it, man. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
Well, Larry Crocker and
hey, good evening, Al. Welcome
to the folks. Glad to be here. Thank you, everybody in the chat. I'll still be chatting with everybody. Larry Crocker, gonna jump on.
We ain't doing this, Larry. Don't do it,
man. You know what though? I'm gonna voice with conviction. I actually agree with Larry, and the reason why I say that, man, and I understand where you coming from, Chris. Don't get me wrong, but it's a damn shame, man, that DC feels like they always have to fall back on Superman and Batman. That's the reason why they can't get nowhere. That's the reason why we have the issues that we have with the DCEU. We've had so many Superman cartoons. We've had so many Batman cartoons. We've had so many Superman movies. We had so many Batman movies. They are scared. Number one, when they put out that Green Lantern movie, that was shit. And what they should have done, they should have went back to the drawing board and figured out what can we do to make this better. But instead, they folded. They don't like to take risks. They don't like to put themselves in a situation and say, hey, maybe we should try a Booster Gold show. Why the hell not? Marvel did it with Guardians of the Galaxy, and look how that paid off. They are unwilling to take risks. They're unwilling to utilize whatever, Larry. They're not willing to put themselves in a position. DC has a litany of characters. They have complex characters.
Who are characters?
They have characters that actually have depth to them. Batman is not the only character that has depth. He's one of the characters that has the saddest story, brooding character. And yes, Batman is the most popular DC character. I get you can't go too far away from your bread and butter. But at the same time, they need to start taking risks. This about the 200th variation of a Batman cartoon that we done got since we were born. I'm exaggerating, but y'all get the idea.
But yeah, I get. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. There's been quite a lot.
I think they're good though. They're good.
But I'm not saying that they're not. Batman animated series in my book is one of my top 5 favorite cartoons. But the problem is that you have other characters, you have other properties within the DC universe. I'm gonna give an example. Let me give out 2 examples. When the DC online service first started, there were 2 shows specifically that people were clamoring about, talking about, man, these shows are good as hell. Do y'all remember what those 2 shows were?
Swamp Thing,
number 1, and what was the other one?
Titans.
Well, actually, it'd be 3. Titans was the second one, but there was another one.
Yeah. Doom Patrol, wasn't it?
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. Yeah, Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol. The people spoke.
And don't forget to watch it was on HBO.
Hold up. Even though Larry said they suck, Larry was on this show, and if I have to dredge for the episode, I'll find it. Larry was on the show talking about how good Teen Titans was. So he was watching it. And Larry is the Titan show that was on the online. The live action show. But Larry talked about how good that show was. But that's what I'm saying. The problem is DC need to get off their ass and stop depending upon Superman and Batman so much and start pushing these other properties, pushing these other characters. They may have a Guardians of the Galaxy in the rough, but they won't never know because they still focusing on Superman and Batman.
You telling me you can't flesh out Martian Manhunter?
That's what I'm saying.
You can't flesh out Hawkman. I
just got
this week at the store.
I think they're afraid of contradicting themselves.
It's not. I don't even think it's entirely that they're afraid. It's also like I said. Think about it. They took chances, but nobody supports them when they do.
But the thing of it is, though, Chris, what's that saying? When you fall down, 7 times, get up 8. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, you are in the business. You are in the entertainment business. You are in the business of putting out product that the masses will consume. That'll have them flocking to your streaming service the same way people do to Disney Plus. There is no difference aside from the properties between DC and Marvel, aside from the fact that they're owned by 2 different companies. The characters are still the same, regardless. How you treat those characters, how you write those characters, and how you present those characters to the public is what matters. And if you put shit out there like Green Lantern and then be like, man, that movie sucked. Hell, Marvel did the same thing with Wolverine Legend. Lest we forget Deadpool with them Baraka claws and shit. Green Lantern, and then be like, man, with no mouth.
Right.
Lest we forget that. But then again, that wasn't Marvel, but you get the idea. It was still a Marvel property. It wasn't Marvel Studios, but the point of it is that when you mess up and you have a situation where you could put something out there to test the waters. I mean, come on, man. It's not that difficult. That company got billions of dollars. They could go put a test you remember when back in the day when a TV show used to come on and they put a pilot episode on just to gauge to see how the show did? If the show fared, they ordered more episodes. If they didn't, sayonara. You going to the warehouse. You going to the storage unit. They can do the same thing, man.
Hey, man. They can actually...
If Marvel can give us a Doctor Strange movie, there's nothing stopping DC from giving us a Dr. Fate movie.
Thank you.
But the difference
I thought they were. I thought he was going to be in Black Adam.
Well, he is, but
he's in Black Adam. Yeah, but he's a member of the Justice Society. He doesn't have his own standalone movie. Like that's what Sean's talking about. Is if he got a Dr. Fate.
I'm just saying that with DC continuing to fail to establish the universe with their movies and constantly saying, "All right, now we gonna do a Flashpoint," and the DCEU is no longer going. I'm like, y'all just continue to fail to give us some semblance of a universe. And then you want to do side projects like Joker and stuff that's not even part of your universe. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Y'all just coming up with all this random shit, but you're not being cohesive with your stuff. And that's why your properties are not gaining traction. And for every Shazam and Aquaman, you give us Wonder Woman 84 and Justice League that disappoints.
Maxwell Lord.
But somebody like me who's not a DC person, like if the shows were good and grasped my attention, not only would you get a fan that would watch the shows, but I'd probably go out and buy the books.
And that's another problem. Like I'm the person that wanted to give DC the shot because, like Chris said, they relied on Batman so much.
Yeah, I don't care about Batman.
I wanted to watch the CW shows because they had characters that don't get a lot of shine.
Yeah.
You know, like in Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow and all those guys.
And I just kept
I enjoyed watching those until they started.
I don't even want to watch it.
They started getting weaker and weaker as the seasons go on, and I start turning off because they're not staying consistently strong.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I really want to support these other characters. You know, I want to see Hawkman and I want to see the Atom and all those characters. Go ahead, Al.
Hey, let me say this, and Chris, you can have the rest of the floor, man. I'm gonna give y'all a prime example. Before you all were added to the group, when the Flash came out, Matt is my witness. Every night, whatever night the Flash came on, like the first 2 or 3 seasons, we were talking about that show in real time in most cases in the chat. And then when we had a show, we would talk about the show. The consensus of that show was that we loved that show across the board. They got to about the middle of the 3rd season, 4th season, the shit went downhill. I don't know if they changed writers. I don't know what the situation was. Now, mind you, I've been a Marvel comic collector forever. Y'all know my 2 favorite, Firestorm and Shazam, Captain Marvel. I watched The Flash, and and this is no lie, that show actually prompted me. The Rebirth Flash that came out during Rebirth, I collect that series to this day because of that TV show. So if that's not a testament of that product working to the point to where it actually transcends, from TV to me going out buying that comic book. Now the comic book is great, by the way. I love it. But my thing is this, they got to learn how to take risks. Just like Sean said, I started watching Black Lightning. I enjoyed Black Lightning that first season and part of that second season. To me, it fell off. The Flash fell off. Legends of Tomorrow, I tried to give a chance, but when they did my boy Firestorm the way they did, I was disgusted. I left it alone, but I still gave it a chance. They need to learn how to take risks. In Batman and Superman, yes, those are your cash cows, but at the same time, man, you got Blue Devil, you got Zatanna, you got Constantine, you got Martian Manhunter, you got Red Tornado, you got Black Canary, you got Green Arrow. You have so many different characters aside from the ones that we see all the time. But if you don't want to take risks with those characters, what's the point of even producing comic books on a monthly subscription if you don't want to try anything new? That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry, man.
No, you're good, man. I totally get where you're coming from. But for me, it's a matter. I look at it like this. The comic book is still good when we'll use the Flash. The comic book is still good because of the writers on the comic book, but those are not the same writers who work on the show. And unfortunately, DC, like you guys said, you guys are talking about how the DC shows fell off, and you guys are blaming DC for the comic books company for the shows falling off, but they don't control the writing on the shows.
I got you.
Now that I agree with. I agree with, but I'm saying like you got to think of it like Marvel borrows from an existing, like from the comics. The storylines they use are directly pulled for the most part from the comics. If you would just do that in the shows for DC, and it would make them good because the writing is already there. All you have to do is make it in real time.
Right, and I get that.
But that'll make comic book people who aren't DC fans go and watch the shows. You know what I mean?
Let me say this right quick, Chris.
All right.
I want to back up everything Al just said because, I've noticed this pattern with a lot of the shows I watch on CW. Like I hadn't said nothing on the show, but I've actually watched a few episodes of this season's Flash. And my biggest gripe with DC is they get so far down in the muck that when they dig themselves out, the show is irrelevant. They turned around, they ruined season 4 and 5 of The Flash, with singing musicals, with courtroom scenes.
But that's not DC. Those are the writers and the showrunners of The Flash.
Well, see, that's when Warner Brothers need to come in and say, "Hey, man, y'all ain't doing our properties justice. We losing money."
They have to have a vested interest in it in order for to make it.
But then that comes back to what Remo talked about how contracts are drawn up. They may not be able to come in and go, "We need y'all to change this because y'all messing up our property," because the contract may be written up differently.
I'll say this: we always give DC and Warner crap. They have too many cooks running different things from the movies and the shows, the comics, and none of them are cohesive whatsoever. Mm-hmm. The shows of the CW lost its luster, but they're going to continue to have their writers, because when you watch one CW show, it seems like you watch them all, because they all have the same pattern, all have the same similarities in the shows. Like, you see something in Black Light, and I'm like, man, I saw this in Supergirl in season 4. You know, it's like something similar in each show. So, but that's a CW thing, and then you got the whole movie side. That's on the movies. The people who's running the movies and stuff, there's no cohesion there. You know, everybody has their hands into that pot. And then it's the same with the comics. So it's like there's no cohesion in all three parts of the DC universe. And it's because too many hands are in the pots of all these things.
Yeah, I'll give you that, Sean. I will agree with you on that, and that is why the new Superman and Lois was the first show to break that standard that all the CW shows had of, here's our superhero, and here's all this team of tech guys behind him helping him do his everyday superhero stuff. Where Superman and Lois was the first show to break that mold that was no longer working on CW shows. And as far as their movies is concerned, let's all be honest. Warner Brothers and DC movies do not get a fair shake. When they announce a movie, for the most part, when DC announced that they are doing a new movie, instantly people are just like, it's gonna be trash.
Okay, perfect segue right here. Injustice will be the next animated movie after Long Halloween
Part 2.
The floor is yours, Chris. Carry on. I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, then this is a whole nother thing when it comes to the animated movies. For the most part, and except for Al, you know, when it came to the new Justice Society World War II movie, you know, most people liked it. You know, and for the most part, for a lot of people, their DC and Warner Brothers animated movies can do no wrong, because they've always done really good animated movies. But again, though, we're talking about a type of movie being done using a medium that the company who was putting it out started from the ground up doing. Warner Brothers is known for animation. They've always owned DC movies, so why aren't we going to always make good-looking animated movies? Because this is what we do. This is our bread and butter. You know, this is, for the most part, that was Warner Brothers' thing. We make Looney Tunes. We make cartoons. So we're always going to make good-looking cartoons. So that's what they're going to do. So Injustice being a movie is great. You know, they were able to get there because of the way that they built the animated movie universe, that they had time to do that legitimately Warner Brothers and DC weren't given and didn't have the time to do with their live action movies. Everybody wanted Warner Brothers and DC to do like Marvel did with their movies. They need to build their movies. They need to connect their universes. They didn't have time by the time they got to it to do. They didn't have 10 years to build an individual Superman movie and then Batman and then a Wonder Woman to get to where Marvel got to, because the bubble isn't there. The bubble is too big. Marvel spent 2 years putting out a movie like every other month. And for the general population, they don't know Marvel versus DC. They just know comic book movie.
But I will say this. Is it like they didn't have time, or they just wanted to rush and get it out there instead of taking their time and building the universe? They did not have to rush to catch up to Marvel. All they had to do is say, let's take our time and build this universe the right way. But because I said earlier, too many cooks in the kitchen, Warner Brothers wanted to catch up. You know, there's people in DC that say we need to catch up and we need to rush do this Justice League movie instead of taking the time and build up this to the Justice League. It could have been done within 6 years if they just took their time and build up to that point. But they wanted to rush and get it out, and now they're in shambles with it. And I just felt like they felt the pressure of Marvel, and they felt the need to do all that stuff instead of just taking their time. The animated movies, to me, were the best thing about them. Even if they had a couple of mediocre entries, they still was consistently good, and you enjoyed them for what they were, even if some were disappointing. Right. And with Injustice, I'm interested in seeing how they do Injustice, because let's be, Injustice was based on the video game, and it got popular to the point where they had the comic book series. Tom Taylor did a great job with that. I read all the Injustice comics, you know, and I enjoyed it. And the video games were fun as hell. So it'd be interesting to see their take on the animated movie, because I really want to see. Because I always said that the Injustice reminded me of the Justice Lords from the cartoon, the Justice League show. Yeah, you know, the alternate version of the Justice League. Yeah, and I was like, that's why I do want to see how they do that in anime form, because I know it's going to be fantastic. And of course, it's going to be Superman versus Batman. And that's always been the case with Injustice. Right. But you get other characters involved, and I really want to see how they interject. And the amount of deaths they're going to have in that movie. Because you know there were casualties in that series. So it's going to be interesting to see that.
Yeah, they did my boy wrong in that series, boy.
Got lobotomized.
No, I'm talking about yeah.
All right. Here's a hot button issue. I was so glad when Al jumped on, because I was like, I wanted him to make sure he got it on before I brought this up. But this is a hot button issue. Hold on, we got to chat right quick. Yeah, Larry says, I bought all the first wave, but the movie that's Apocalypse haven't been good to me. All right. Next up. Is it me? Or is it too many X-Men comics flooding the tail?
So you could ask that in the 90s, I would say yes.
Where Larry?
Where you at, Larry?
This is a Larry topic. Larry needs to get on before anybody else say anything.
I'll just say, if you asked this in the 90s, I would have said yes too.
Right. I mean, there's only 12?
It's always too many X-Men comics.
Hold
on. 12 X-Men comics?
Let us see. I'm about to Google this current X-Men titles.
And WebX ain't even on for that long. Like,
you probably it's probably about.
There's at least 6 that I know.
You close to it? 10.
Yeah. There's 10. Yeah, that's
X-Men.
It's about right.
X-Men, Marauders, Excalibur, New Mutants, X-Force. Well, actually, Fallen Angels is canceled. Yeah. So Wolverine, that was a good book. Cable. Actually, there is 10 because they just
Way of
released Way of X is a limited series.
Okay.
But they just released the X Corp.
That's right. The new X Corp comic.
So there's a total of 10 according to Wikipedia. Well, minus.
Did you read that one now? X Corp?
X Corp? No, I'm not getting that book, man.
I thought about it and I was just like, I ain't gonna start that shit. I ain't even doing it.
10 titles.
That's about 3 too many. Or about 7 too many. Because they only
now you multiply $3.99 times 10 if you go into the store to pick up these books.
Exactly. That's $40 just for X-Men books.
Just for X-Men books.
Just for X titles, man. And they all come out basically every week. There's an X title coming out.
Yep.
So
I just happened to go to the store the other day and I looked and I said, "Damn."
10. I mean, how many? I mean.
The X-Men regular story is it lost me probably after like the 6th issue.
I mean, to me, 10's not that bad when you look at let's look back at War of the Realms. War of the Realms had 60 tie-in books, and it ran 6 months.
Well, see, that's another topic in and of itself. All these tie-ins to these major.
Hey, throw it out there, Al. Let's roll. Let's go. Speak on it.
I mean, as far as it goes, I get tired of that too, man. Because it used to be a time when any stories, for the most part, were enclosed in whatever books that was going on at that time. Like for example, when the original Secret Wars came out, there were tie-ins that actually bled out. Well, Secret Wars 2, rather. There were tie-ins that appeared in other comics, but those books weren't necessarily needed. And I mean, to a certain degree, well, actually, I take that back, because some tie-ins nowadays actually have key situations, and it actually pushes the storyline further if you don't get that tie-in. So sometimes they put parts of the story in the tie-ins on purpose so that you can have the complete story, which in my opinion is bull, But I mean, yeah, that one had a lot, and that's the last Secret Wars that Hickman wrote back in 2015. That had I want to say it had about 40 or 60 side stories, because with each one they had, like, for example, they did Days of Future Past or something like that, and they had 4 issues for that. Then they had X-Men 92, which I bought because I liked. That was a pretty good tie-in. That was like 4 or 5 issues. So that whole situation, man, is garbage. But at the same time, man, it's just a ploy to make more money, because they know at the end of the day, most people, if they're buying a book for the story, and parts of the story are in other like books, more likely those people are gonna buy them, which is an unfortunate thing, because you're paying premium for the main story. Like, for example, Heroes Reborn, the newest story, I think each of those books are like $5 or $6.
$6,
yeah. So you're looking at, I think,
right on the shelves, like, that's cool.
Right, 6 to 8 issues. So at 8 issues at $6, that's almost $50 for just one miniseries.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of bread, man. And then you got other side stories. Now, I will say this: Heroes Reborn doesn't have that many tie-ins as of right now.
Right.
But each one of the tie-ins is like $5. So I mean,
that's oof.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Sean?
I'm actually starting to cut back on some of my titles.
Right.
But yeah, to answer your question, there's too many X-Men books flooding the shelves, man.
Larry said he don't know.
Of course he did.
I'm not really worried about it, because I ain't buying them. So
yeah.
Sean's like, nigga, put 100 out. I don't care.
Hey, I was a fan of the X-Men in the 90s and 2000s. When I came back into comics after a hiatus, X-Men was last on my radar, and I didn't buy much X-Men when I came back in.
Well, I've always thought, man, at certain points in time, there were always too many X-Men books. And I know on some earlier shows that we did right when they rebooted the X-Men, one of my biggest fears was the fact that they were going to flood the market yet again with X-Men titles. And just as sure as the sun is not set in the state of Georgia, that's what they've done.
Right.
And I think, to me, it devalues the book. And I understand it devalues the property. And I understand that they got a plethora of characters. I mean, that's to be expected. I mean, the world of mutants is pretty diverse. But at the same time, I don't want to buy a book with the Angel and Sunspot talking about how much money they got. I mean, that's just, and I don't even know if that's what the book is about. But the book is centered around some of the richest mutants in mutantdom. And it's like, how can you make that book interesting to me to where I want to just, man, I got to go see, what kind of Ferrari Sunspot gonna be driving in the comic book,
rich and famous.
So I mean,
starring the X-Men.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm there's certain books that I'm still getting whenever I catch up on getting them. But I'm not in that situation. Well, the first Age of Apocalypse, Larry, I mean, that was a good series, number one. And then number two, I don't know what happened to Matt. Number two, when you look at the Age of Apocalypse, all those books that all those books that came with that main series, it made sense. And they actually fleshed out characters like that Weapon X. You know, it talked about Jean Grey and Wolverine's romance. I mean, that's something that's always been touched on in the main Marvel universe. So
Wait. You got
that's it right there. Uncanny. But yeah, man, I mean,
the problem with Age of Apocalypse, even when I was younger, I did not want to buy all those damn books, man.
There was so
like
many.
you had the whole age, every series turned into a 4-issue mini, and then everything kind of connected with each other because it's the whole Age of Apocalypse thing. And I wasn't exactly thrilled with the looks of the X-Men. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Wolverine with one hand, Cyclops with one eye. I was like, I'm not buying this, man.
For me.
Yeah, like years later when I actually read Age of Apocalypse, the omnibus, that's the best way to read it.
Yeah.
It was great. But at that time, at that age, I was like, man, I ain't spending a whole bunch of money on all these X titles.
All these different X titles.
I was only getting a certain amount of books. But I'm not going to buy everything just to read all this. Even at that time,
I think I was probably like 16, 17 at the time.
Sean could only cut so much grass.
Over it. I was like, I'll spend my money on chicks. I was like, I ain't spending my money on buying all these things. I'm about to be going to the movies. I'm gonna go to the mall, buy me a jersey.
It's a limit. Exactly. It's a limit to what we can buy as consumers, and that's why you have people today saying, "I'm gonna wait for the trade." Especially when it comes to events.
Yeah, I agree.
So they like,
especially like devoted to that series to buy all.
If you do a whole event with a bunch of tie-ins, you know they're gonna put that all in the omnibus. And you could go to in-stock trades and get that omnibus for like $60 and read it all in one sitting, and not have to worry about a whole pile of single issues that you got.
Yeah.
Save yourself a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
All right. Next topic. How big is store organization to a comic book store success?
I can take that off the bat because my wife, she started collecting recently. And that's one of the things that helps her is if they're organized. If they're organized, she don't have to think about it as a new collector. She can go and look exactly for what she wants in the moment, go find, instead of us. Right. We don't care where it's at. We're going to find what we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? But for somebody coming in new, it's important at that. Because it won't frustrate them. If they're frustrated, they won't go back to the store.
I went to the store yesterday.
So, yeah. Okay, where's my baby?
Just thinking about it, man. You know, I go to the store and I see good stock. But I have to climb Mount Everest to get to it. And then, you know, I go in the store and the guy doesn't have on deodorant. And then Alan tell you we in Georgia, it is hot as shit. Chris will tell you too. It is hot as shit here. We talking about 102 next week.
You want mustard, was it?
Hey, what Ghostface say? Mustard like funk waving their arms. Y'all know it. Raekwon, rather.
Come on, man.
It was rough, man. In the store, you know, it was just like they opened the store up. They just threw shit on the floor. And was like, well, if they find it, they find it. If he dies, he dies. You know.
Right. If he dies, he dies.
And I just was like, bro, you got a good product here, man, but you don't. You know, it's not organized. And nothing frustrates me as someone who likes to hunt than when I have to go into a store and have to climb over shit to find stuff, or I see toys thrown all over the place, which was the case yesterday. I mean, there's plexiglass like a board just stuck down on top of the long box full of books, and I was just like, bro, you know. And I saw this other brother now. He was looking frustrated, and that's what made me think about it. I was like, man, this is a good store. But it's unorganized. So will I be going, and as you just said, will I be going back? Probably not.
It makes a huge difference, man. Being able to find what you're looking for versus having to hunt. Like, I'm already hunting because you may have been the second, third, fourth store that I've been to.
Yeah.
And then I get to your store, and then I'm hunting even more because I gotta crawl over this and move behind that, and probably gonna need to get a tetanus shot because I got a splinter in my arm. Like sometimes, I'm looking for what I'm looking for, but it ain't worth all this trouble.
You know, I don't have a problem with digging. You know, I don't have a problem with digging if the store is like I'll tell you, James. There's a chaotic organization about the way his store is. Like you can go in his store and put your hands on something.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like you really got to go through a lot. It's kind of like a treasure trove, brother. Where you kind of I look in this box. Oh wow, this is something cool. Whatever. Whereas you go in some stores, man, and you got to go like, hey man, I need somebody to help move this over here so I can get to this.
Yeah,
it's and that's frustrating, man.
Yeah.
That is frustrating. Sean?
Organization is important to a shop's connection with a consumer, because when you go into a shop, and I've heard stories about this from other community members where they go into a shop and the place is so disorganized. You got comic books laying on top of other comic books, boxes of stuff everywhere. And like you said, toys on top of toys, and they not even hanging up properly and stuff. It's just, and then on top of that, the presentation of the store sometimes just looks like, what the fuck? This place looks like it's been bombed.
Right.
It's crazy. You go in there, you find what you find, and you just want to get the hell out of there because it's just a disappointing experience. When you go into a place that's so unorganized and is very messy. And those type of shops, I don't know how they even get consumers to come in there. As soon as you open the door and the place is all junk, it's like, might as well just turn around and go to another one because I ain't gonna find nothing in there. And if it is something in there, I got to go through hurdles to get it. And yeah, it's organization is key for a comic book shop to be successful. And you don't want customers coming in there and having to jump hurdles, to find stuff because your place is so disorganized and it's very messy. That's one of the things I didn't like about the shop I went to as a kid in New York, where not only was, comic books disorganized, they wasn't like placed in the right boxes, but the place was so small and tight that they had short boxes on the hallway, and the hallway barely had even space for people to walk through. And you had boxes on top of each other. I'm like, how can I maneuver boxes and I got people trying to get past me, telling me to get out the way and stuff?
That pisses me off because I know the place will have something and I can't get to it.
Yeah, and you get frustrated trying to get to it. Like you just want to say, all right, I got some books in my hand. Let me just pay and get the hell out of here because
I'm just gonna take what I got. Yeah, I'm just gonna take what I got and go about my business.
And you know what will make it worse is that when you go through all that trouble, you dug and you move box after box, and you take your books up to the counter, and then they go to eBay.
Let me check eBay first.
Hell no. We're not doing that.
You can go and get out my face with all that.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Al stuck the way I was going to see if he had anything he wanted to add on that.
You're not about to check eBay on me after I done spent 45 minutes, hour organizing your janky store to look for what I was looking for. And then
want to know. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I done work like an employee in the back, come back sweating, and then you tell me you gonna check eBay. Man, I will chuck them comic books in your face.
That's one thing I can't
make sure he cut his face all up.
I go to a comic book store, man, and it looked like Splinter is living in the back. And I done went through and I done sweated like a Hebrew slave and toiled, and I done sung Negro spirituals trying to dig for comic books and stuff. Swing low, sweet chariot coming for to carry me home. I don't want to go to no comic book store, man, and it's disorganized, man. I get frustrated. If your comic book store is not organized, if you don't have a sense or a semblance of calmness when I come up in there, I'm probably gonna go through a couple of boxes, see what I can see, and I'm chunking up the deuces, man, because I don't have time. Because the way I collect, the way I dig, and Matt seen me, I sit down, man. I take my time. I go through stuff. And if you don't have your comic book set to the way it needs to be set, this Joker here with the real Captain Marvel. You know what?
Look, man, I'm
glad you're giving Shazam his shine. I'm glad you're giving him his shine. You better be glad that Captain Marvel book is in my other room, because I sure put it up. The one that's
look, man, y'all gonna force me to come on this show, man.
Nobody forced you
to do shit.
Hey, man.
You got free reign. You should have been here from the start, brother.
Exactly.
Look,
I don't see nobody with no
cash tonight, man.
Look at man. I don't see nobody with no Tech 9 behind your head talking about
right.
No, I'm saying is, y'all,
I don't see that.
The stuff y'all talking about tonight, boy, is unbelievable.
You know what? Well,
it's believable. It's believable in our eyes, bro.
Right.
So, go ahead and tell us how you feel, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
look, first of all, man, y'all talking too many X books, man. It's one comic book, 1 or 2 come out a week. It's a far cry from the 90s. And the books, anybody who's read anything that Jonathan Hickman has ever written knows that he writes overarching stories. So
that's why we wait for the omnibus, bro. When it comes to Hickman, I read him in the omnibus because I ain't buying them single.
Yeah, you know, he writes overarching stories, man, from the Avengers to the Fantastic Four to Elf to everything he's written. He's written overarching stories. So the X-Men, if you want the full story, you have to look at all the books. You know,
wait for the
to me, it's the most interesting X-Men have ever been.
I will agree with what he just said. The current run that I've read up to, it is very interesting. I like the direction that it's going. I personally, it's too many books, man. I'm a blue collar man, right?
Yeah, man.
I'm like Dusty Rhodes, man. I pork and beans with kings and queens.
But Al, this is what you want. He's taking everything that they built thus far and put it all together in a pot and made that pot gumbo.
And I respect that, man. But when you know I'm on the verge of trying to get a GoFundMe to keep up my
comic book, right?
It's some problems there, bro. Because I'm not X-Men are not the only books I collect.
But I'm saying you were picking up 5 books a week in the 90s. Now you might pick up 2 books a week.
Hey, but those books were $1.25 then. Too.
Right, exactly. But you gotta think about inflation.
Inflation, man. I ain't trying to hear that,
the
bro.
Cost of living was different, bro. $1.25 it's $3.25 now.
Hold up. DC told a lie a few years ago. $2.99.
$2.99.
We draw the line at $2.99.
Yeah, it's
I told y'all that.
The lie to take the test determined that was a lie. Now it don't cost that much to print these books. It don't cost that much to manufacture the book. Paying the authors, I get it. Paying the writers, I get it. But it don't cost no. Why would a limited series cost $5 or $6?
It's
the same size as the regular book.
I told y'all a long time ago, there's no way in the world that DC was gonna keep those books at $2.99. Not with Marvel pushing $3.99 and $4.99. It's almost like Samsung and Apple. All right, Apple will say, "Well, we're gonna take the brick out of the box." Everybody like, "Oh, we ain't gonna take it. We're gonna laugh at them. They gonna take the brick out of the box." Samsung said, "We'll never take the brick out of the box." What did they do 6 months later? They took the brick out of the box because Apple set the trend. And if people are going to pay for that, then guess what? Okay, we can do it too, and we can make money the same way. It's follow the leader.
Hey man,
you're not going to continue to print books for $2.99 when your competitor over there is peddling 2 times as many books as you are for double the price.
What about food?
Crappy ass paper. That's what they sell. You selling you crappy ass paper.
Let me just say
$3.99. I wipe my ass with a Marvel book with that crappy ass paper.
I hope it's 2-ply. But let me just say this, and I'm gonna be done with it, man. The comic book collecting thing, man. I mean, I buy my fair share of new comic books. And my thing is the comic book, and I know this probably gonna segue into the main topic. I'm single. I have no kids, but sometimes it can still be a chore to buy all the comic books that I want. Not because I don't want to get them, but I have to wait. Do I really need this comic book? Because at a certain period of time, man, I walked in this week alone. I dropped $60 on brand new comic books.
Yeah.
$60. And I buy comic books every week. Not saying that I spend $60 every week, but that fluctuates. Some weeks it might be 30, some weeks it might be 40, some weeks it might be 70, depending upon whatever books that come out that's on my pull list, right, and stuff that catches my eye. Because a lot of stuff, I'm like, man, that was a book, and I picked that up.
You pre-order some stuff, and that comes
pre-order stuff, even with the discount that I get, and it gets pricey to a point to where it's like, man, at what point will these comic book companies say, man, we need to cut these jokers break? Because I mean, at some point in time, man, it's gonna come a point to where, if especially with the route DC going, you charging $5-6 a book, man, you can only have so many books on your pull list. Because
they don't have many books. So therefore, they can do that.
That still don't justify it, though.
Think about this, Al. What piggybacking on what you said, what luxury that you have out there that isn't the same way? I don't know about you, bro, but I buy sneakers. Which if I try to buy every sneaker that came out every Saturday, bro, I'd be broke. We buy video games. Video games are $60-$70 a pop. If we try to buy every video game we wanted, we'll go broke. You can't buy everything that you want for any hobby or any luxury.
I can buy a game pre-owned out there, stick around for a while,
and you can wait for a comic book to go to the dollar bin.
No, it depends on where you go.
X-Men books to go to trade.
It depends on where you go, because some people like to add an extra $2 or $3 when they put it in the back.
Right.
I ain't saying no names.
No shade.
Hey, no shade.
No shade.
I know two off the rip. You go in there thinking you gonna get it for a discount. Oh man, this book hold up. The book was $2.99 when it came out. $6.99 today? Really?
Oh boy.
But I digress.
Larry, your thoughts on let's pull up here. How big is store organization?
I feel like what Remo said was right, man. That for a new collector, you probably want to get in and get what you want and learn the rest later. I think for seasoned collectors, sometimes seasoned collectors get their kicks out of actually digging for the books. But I think for the new collector, he probably don't want to go in there and see a disorganized store because, like you said, they want to look whatever they like. Batwoman, they want to go in there and pick through all the Batwomans and find what they want and get out, rather than trying to go through all the B's and see Black Widow, Batwoman, Batgirl, and Batman. And, you get lost, so you probably get frustrated too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Main event of the evening is the comic book bubble. About $2. Who would like to go first, man?
I say no.
I say no.
Nope.
What we're seeing right now is unprecedented sales, and we're seeing new floors being set. Books that used to cost $5 are going high as $1,000 and will bottom out at $200 to $400.
Are you saying that's happening already, or are you saying that's what's going to end up?
That's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to have these books are going to now be hidden. We're going to be seeing floors that books are going to be at.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The money that's in the hobby right now, man, is unprecedented, and it's because of it's like we just saying, it's like any other hobby, man. That secondhand market, eBay, pop culture, these are things that we didn't have back in the 90s when we started. So now, whereas the book had to grow organically, you throw something out there because if you see Monica Rambeau on TV, Now all of a sudden it brings interest to, okay, let's go buy this. And you know, people who have it aren't dumb. They know people are going to come look for it, so they raise the price on it. And that's where you're at right now. That it's just the secondary market is it's a monster. So,
I mean, I want to give a shout out to Tito. Did y'all see Tito's post today? It was either the day or yesterday, and he was talking about this person that was saying, "Oh, this book is rare, only 4 on the census." And Tito was basically saying that just because there's only 4 on the census doesn't mean that people have not submitted more to the census or there's more out there. One of the things I'm seeing a lot of is people are saying, "Oh, this book is rare." Well, there's only 5 of them that's been graded. That doesn't mean that there's only 5 in existence, though.
Yeah.
Right.
And so what's happening is a lot of people are using this, and that's how they're manipulating the market.
Well, me and Al just talking about this, man. We've given CGC too much power in the culture. We've given we slapping books. We've given that too much power in the culture. eBay. Oh my goodness, we've given eBay all the power. So I mean, it's like the consumer has actually lost the leverage they had in the culture.
Yeah,
I think sellers are allowing that to happen. They're letting that dictate the market. When basically, to me, I think the books are worth what someone's willing to give you for them. Now, if you go to market and you say, if you know that the market says a 9.8 of this book is $1,000, to me, those grades are all subjective. Like, just because you have it in a slab, that guarantees you that that's what they say that it's worth. But that doesn't mean because my book is not slabbed, it's not a 9.8.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I can't command the same amount you are because my book's not encapsulated. I think that's bullshit. But I get it. I understand. If you go through
the process.
That process of getting your book graded and it comes back a 9.8, then to me, unequivocally, you can't even lowball me. The book is worth this is what it's worth. You know what I mean? So I get it, but I wish it wasn't all like that. But I understand.
Yeah, I agree with Larry. We've gotten to that point where if somebody says a book is CGC, then automatically for a fact, depending on the book, you're looking at easily $100 off the rip, just because it's been CGC. Because they're gonna try to make back what it cost them to get it CGC.
Exactly.
At least and more,
right? They're gonna try to make back what they made. They're gonna try to break even and make more. And automatically, and then eBay is a whole beast in itself. I'm dating myself. I remember when eBay started, it was like the Wild West, and people were just like, "I don't buy nothing off eBay. I can't trust them. You can buy it and then you never get your stuff and blah blah blah."
Yeah, they
and
might
now,
not sell it to you.
right? And now eBay is basically the GameStop of the comic book world.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
I buy shit.
Exactly what it is now.
Now that right now is deep. The GameStop of the comic book world.
eBay has become the GameStop of the comic book world, because when you looking for a comic book, like, I ain't gonna lie, me, Sean, you love Far Sector, so do I, and I wasn't able, showing how people didn't think the comic was gonna do well or whatever. I hadn't been able to find back issues anywhere, so I ended up having to go to eBay to buy my back issues individually in order to fill. And it ain't but 12 comics, but I bought the first issue, cost me $20. I found it at Oxford Comics. I got the first issue for $20, and I paid anywhere between $5 to $7 per issue to try to fill in my run, and I'm still missing a few. But I had to go to eBay to do it because I couldn't go to a comic shop to pick up a single back issue of this comic book. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happened. eBay's got that power. People putting stuff, like we started the segment with, people just throwing crazy prices out there. Like, yeah, you could haggle them down. You could reach out to them and be like, "Look, man, I'm not paying you $10,000 for Slapstick number 12, the first appearance of Blanket. Like, I'm not gonna do it." So they tell you what, I'll give you $12.50, and he might take it, he might not. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So it's eBay is the digital flea market.
Yep.
You know, and we've given it that power of being able to just take over whatever that right there. And none of us have even heard of this comic, but somebody asking for $100,000 for a comic for an independent New York City Comic Con comic that the fourth issue wasn't even out in 2019. Like,
I'll tell you, but
but eBay allows you to do that, and because somebody somewhere is willing to pay it, they can get away with it.
Me and Al just had this conversation earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm gonna tell you something else, man. I'm gonna give you a little gold. I'm gonna tell you what CGC will do for you. Me and Al just talking about Avengers Academy #1. So if anybody out there listening and you have this book, go look at the value. If it's raw, I think the value is like $50 for this book that has no significance. But if you CGC it, it's worth like $350 for Avengers Academy #1.
And I was shocked the value of it went up the way it did because I'm like, it's Avengers Academy #1, but
yeah. But I mean, it could backfire too because, like,
absolutely.
For instance, the other day, like I was watching one of these auctions, and this dude was trying to sell a book, and nobody was taking it. You know, nobody wanted it. You know, the book probably isn't worth what he was asking, but then the price he ended up asking, it was reasonable, but he was charging for shipping too. So I was just like, "What's up?" But I got a. X-Men 282 9.0 second print for $30 shipped. But the book ain't worth that, but that's how much it costs to get slabbed, I'm sure, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, around $35.
The book hasn't been pressed or nothing. You can tell it hasn't really been pressed because there's still stuff in there that can press it out, but the book gonna be worth more than $30 in about a month.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth
go to the bathroom next week. That book gonna be worth $15,000.
I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like, but I got it for $30 shit, but it ain't worth that. I know that. But you know what I'm saying? The average person don't know that. You know what I'm saying? They just looking at the number and they're like, oh, well, it's only a 9.0. Like, all right, well, shit. Sell it to me for cheaper then. I'm going to crack it out and I don't need it. I just want the book in my collection. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I think if you want to sell stuff, though, the only way you could do it, you got to get a 9.8 of whatever the book is you're selling.
Well, if you want to do like one of our people that we do, if you want to maximize,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you get it now.
You want that base that's like $99,999. Like you want that base, it's got to be a 9.8.
Or it's got to be a very in-demand book.
Yeah. That's I'll be facetious, but I'm saying like no matter what that. Whatever you go on, whatever website they want to check, if they want to check eBay, if they want to check cover price, if they want to check, this one, so on and so forth, it's going to tell you a 9.8 sells for this. This is what it's selling for. This is the fair market value of a 9.8. So the low balls, you can miss me with all that because this is what it says. Like, people are buying it at this. So you're going to have to at least meet that and either exceed it or me say, hey, you know what, I'm willing to take that amount because you know what I mean. Like if then it falls back on the person who took the time out to get it graded. They can say, hey, you know what, I'll give you a deal. You know what I'm saying? I need the money right now. I know this book is worth $99,999, but I'm gonna sell it for $50,000. You know what I'm saying? You cutting your nose off to spite your face, but you can do that because you already know that it's worth more than the $50,000. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Sean?
So that gives the person on the other end some room to work with. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree with these guys, so I don't really have much to say about it. I told you before we started, I ain't got much to say about it because I'm kind of tired of talking about comic market and all this stuff. I just buy what I want to buy, and I don't really focus on the market stuff, man. get what the books that I want to collect, and I brought some old books today, at the store. So I'm not really worried about that stuff because it don't really affect me.
All right. Any other topics? I mean, any other thoughts on the topic? Al, you good? All right. Moving on. Comic Halls. Who's going first tonight? Who's going first tonight? Ooh!
Hey, it sounds like Remo want to go first because he revving
Right.
up.
I'm just saying.
He revving up.
He's revving up the engines, baby.
He ready.
Hey, last week he came on Silver Age Sunday to show off them books, man.
Oh yeah, I seen them, boy. He had some hot fire like Dylon last week.
He said Dylon.
I got a couple. I got a couple.
All right.
So let me see. So I went shopping on New Comic Book Day, and then I stopped by another shop yesterday, and then I went to today to another shop. So I got a little and I got some stuff in the mail. So yesterday I got another Century #5. Grab that. This is a nice little book to have. He merges with the Void. So let me see. I've been collecting the Miles Morales run, but I needed to grab a couple books, and I found some of these in a back issue bin. But I found the first issue of Miles Morales in a 4th print. Then I got a second issue, and I think it's a 3rd printing. 3rd issue, regular cover, and I got the 4th issue in a 2nd print, and the 5th issue in a 2nd print, and the 6th issue in a 2nd print. So they ain't first prints, but I'll take them.
Yeah.
And then I got a couple of. I've been looking for this one. I've found a bunch of them, but I've been looking for these 2 Avengers 2nd print. So it's issue #7 of Avengers. And that's Ghost Rider.
The ancient Ghost Rider.
DC or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
First appearance of him, and then I forget who this is. This is the 2nd print of #8. I forget who this is. Somebody from the prehistoric day. Not above water, it ain't. Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, he's coming from the water. So yeah, right here.
Yeah, it's Namor.
Yeah.
You can tell by the outfit, man.
But it's from like 1 million BC or something like that. And then what else did I get? Got the Berserker #2, the 2nd print. Nottingham #3. This is a good book. I don't know if you guys got a chance to read it, but this is a good one.
Nottingham?
Yeah, it's good, man. Really good. And then I could pick this up for $5.
Woo!
This is a perfect one, man. This is 98K. Not a tick in the world. Sharp corners, nice for $5. I couldn't leave it behind. Got a couple issues of this Moon Knight 188.
That's a big one right there. The one you holding up, 188.
Yeah, the 188 with the.
They say that's gonna be the enemy in the. Yeah.
And I got this Dr. After #3, 1 in 25. With the murder droids or whatever.
Yeah.
$200 book, man. And I went through some dollar bins today, or back issue bins. I got the Marvel Comics Presents Wolverine.
Number one.
We have number one. It's all right copy. It's not terrible. It looks like it's got a little fading right here, but
still not bad.
Copy. Yeah, I don't have it in the collection, so I'll keep it.
Good pickup, sir.
Incredible Hulk number 326. The new X-Men number 129.
Oh yeah, Phantom X.
Phantom X.
Phantom X. Then I grabbed this.
Y'all somebody is too many X-Men. Man, look at that greatness that you just held up, man.
X-Men Adventures number 2. Grab this from the 90s cartoon. It's Age of Apocalypse number 1, 378. It's like a different team, and then it has like I guess a different version, like a Gambit and all of them. They're all different, but they're whatever. Found this for a couple bucks. Grabbed it, $2-3. Found another second print of this Thunderbolts Baron Zemo cover. Grab this. This is a nice copy too, man, for $5, man. This X-Men 184. I think this is Forge's first appearance.
What number is that?
184.
Was that Forge's first appearance, Al?
I'm checking. I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah.
There's somebody's first appearance in this one right here too, man. It's the second print. And then I'm still trying to go after all those the Daredevil ones, the Marvel Knight. I got issue 12, 13, David Mack covers, and then issue 46.
You got 9 and 10?
I don't. I have 11 and 12. I keep seeing 9 and 10. They want a lot for them over here, boy.
Yeah.
And then I got these in the mail, man. I was watching a couple videos and they were specking on them. Mr. Miracle. But Weapon X 77. Grab a couple of these because they're like $1 now, but they're gonna probably go up soon. So grab a few copies. And I didn't show this along. I got this. I've had this for a few weeks, but you guys might want to grab one. But it's a X-Men, giant size X-Men.
That's what's up.
And reprint.
You can never have too much X-Men, man. you just proved it.
That's my hole, and I'm sticking to it.
Matt gonna break out the vault.
Yeah, it's time for shut it down. Hey, but you were right on that X-Men.
That's Forge, right?
Yeah, that's the first appearance of Forge.
Nice.
All right. I have another copy of Incredible Hulk.
The wild where the wild things are. I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find these, man, for little nothing. So
now my wife over here like, oh, now I gotta find that.
hey, check this out. I have the book, right, and I also have the game for the PlayStation 3. So it's not too far out my wheelhouse, brother.
They have a game for this.
It was on the Xbox
49.
49 was that an incentive variant?
Yes, a variant.
Okay. 49.
Yeah, it was on the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
Wow, look into that. I picked this up I just picked this up off a whim. What if Jessica Jones had joined the Avengers?
That's hard. I've seen that cover before.
Fallen Angel, a Magic Legend. Picked up Betty and Veronica. Picked up some Invisible. Got a little Transformers Generation 2. We got Crimson Empire 3, number 1. Picked up Samurai. I think this is number 1. Yeah, number 1.
I've seen someone else doing that.
Sentai. Number 7.
The White
Early Power Rangers first appearance of the White Ranger.
Very nice.
At a flea market for $1. Invincible 20.
Is there any of those books that aren't worth? I mean, all of them have some value, right?
Most of those Invincible books do. Yeah.
Yeah. Steve, Stone Cold Steve picked up one today.
I seen that one. That's the, the rape.
Yeah, issue 44.
Yeah.
With the rape. The rape. Yeah, I was like, oh, wait.
Pick this up this week. Rangers of the Divide. And the talked about book of the week, The Red Room by Ed Piscor. Pick that up. Can't go wrong with these red covers, especially if you can find one that doesn't have any ticks on it.
You know what that art reminds me of on that book? I don't know if y'all ever watched this show on Adult Swim called Super Jail.
Yeah.
That's what that art reminds me of.
I know Super Jail very well. Yep.
And Super Jail's out there, boy. Whew.
Wonder Girl, number 1. And to my liking, this book was announced $25 when I bought it in the store.
And it wasn't behind the counter either.
Yeah, exactly. Because I actually like this cover better than I like the first one. So pick that up. Third print. Shout out to Luther. Stray Dogs, number 1.
Very nice.
Yep. So get a copy of that thanks to Luther. And Mighty Avengers variant, number 1.
Luke Cage looks pissed.
And Remo. That is a book.
There is a book.
There is a book that I was able to get this week for the whopping price of $13. It is low grade. But as we say on the show, low grade is what?
Better than
low grade. Avengers.
Ooh. Very nice.
There we go. So that is my haul.
That was number 7.
Number 7.
Number 7.
$30.
$13.
Lord have mercy. Look at Baron Zemo. He can't even believe it. Look at
know,
right?
$30. Baron Zemo, like he ready.
Baron Zemo shocked too. Baron Zemo over there just like, and they call me a criminal.
What? $30?
Yeah, $13. I had to look.
Highway robbery.
Bro, I looked at the book and I said, "Wait a minute, that's number 7 for $30." And when I took it up to the register, he was like, "Yeah, you know, it had a lot of love, man, but it's still a Avenger 7." I was like, "You damn right it is. That's why it's coming home with me."
Right, you damn right it's Avengers.
Yeah, change prices either.
Yep. So he honored the price, man. And you know that's a whole nother discussion we'll get into after we get off the air, because if we get to talking about that, we'll be on for 4 hours.
Right.
All right, so I got a light haul. I didn't pick up no new titles, but I did went and get some old books because I went hunting today with Stone Cold Steve and the Geek Aficionado who came down from Chicago and he wanted to hang out with some members. So I got to hang with him and meet him for the first time at the Coliseum of Comics in Kissimmee.
Yeah.
So it was a cool thing. We all had a blast talking comics and stuff. So some books I picked up. I got some Barbarian books to show. Some Cole
the Conqueror. Rated
Destroyer here. He went from Conqueror to Destroyer.
Cole the Destroyer. This film has not yet been rated.
Did he switch from Destroyer to Conqueror?
I think he probably started off as the Conqueror and then became the Destroyer.
Oh, gotcha.
But you know how it is. Conan the Destroyer and the Conqueror and the King as well. So
yeah,
and here's Conan himself.
Conan Barbarian.
He can't let Cole battle tentacles all by himself. So you gotta battle some tentacles.
Right. Let me help you out.
Conan 66.
Dagon. The
god of death, Dagon.
Conan number 72.
The Hordes of Hell.
The Hordes of Hell.
Isn't there a significance to that diamond with the 30 cent in there? Isn't that like
that's a price variant?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had doubles of Conan's and one with the regular. It had the regular one and then it had the one with the diamond.
Yeah.
Bang.
And then beware the bear of
Diamond Dallas
heaven.
Page.
The bear of heaven.
You know what? I'm telling you something, man. Oh, man. I got much respect for that dude, man, because he be fighting in everything, boy. Everything. Bears, giants, snakes, 3-headed dogs, the whole nine.
Hey, man, he got real
nine. Hey, he'll take on dinosaurs, flying dinosaurs, man.
A pterodactyl, a snake pterodactyl with a voodoo man on it.
the shaman.
Dragon wings.
on a dress.
Conan fears nothing, man.
He showed
and then
when
Conan gets his victories, this is how he celebrates.
Oh yeah.
The dog.
I like that cover though. Good grief.
Nice.
Classic covers.
Ernie Chan cover right here, man.
Dang, you know what? I think I mentioned it on one of your live streams, man. It might have been you and VV, but doggone Conan, man. Some of those books had some of the best looking covers, man.
Oh yeah, especially the 70s and 80s books.
Man, them Bronze Age cover books were they were works of art. Period.
Yep,
that's right. Mm-hmm.
So I picked up 2 other books. One I paid for, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. And then one Stone Cold Steve AOK'd me. I'm filling in my Jungle Action run.
Okay.
Black Panther Jungle Action number 12. Devil Wolves from the Chilling Mist.
But that wolf he kicked, boy, that joke I'll be bleeding out the mouth, man.
And then smash 2 dogs together. That's animal cruelty.
Gonna be all over his ass.
Hey,
coming for him, boy.
Hey,
he smashed
these animals deserve cruelty for attacking the panther, man. And then this book is a low print book. It's scarce to find. I saw it there. Stone Cold Steve, Genesis Heart. He AOK'd it to me, and I helped him with the book that he posted earlier. But Icon.
Woo!
Hey, what number is that one?
Number 41.
Yeah, that's the last one, ain't it?
And
that's the last issue.
But I know it's a low print. It's one of the later issues, so it could be. But I saw it and I was like, if this book goes for like between $35 to $50 or more.
Man, those milestone books, like the last 4 or 5 issues of like Icon and
Static and all
Static
them,
and Blood
yeah.
Syndicate, man, those are like the most expensive, especially that last issue of Static.
Oh, it's ridiculous. And the funny thing is with most of these books, because Jimmy spent a lot in terms of, because he brought some Silver Age books. And, Coliseum Comics, they give you stamp cards. You get 10 stamps, you get $10 off. So Jimmy got all his stamps. He gave me 2 of his stamp cards, and then Steve gave me 1. So that was $30. All these books would have cost $40, and I paid only $10 for them.
Wow.
That's nice.
Brotherhood.
Hey, we was talking about, man. We gotta come up there and hit up Dave's, man.
Hey, man, let us know. Let us know. It's about that time to make that trip up there again. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
I got a small little.
You see that stack there, boy?
No, this is
right. We got my little stack.
Well, and he the main one talking about, man, you can't anybody be spending that amount of money on books, man. You see that stack he got there, man?
This an old stack right here. This ain't even
over there, man. He's look, wait, we can go the show, man. He goes through his horns, man.
Telling his wife, he like, yeah, this is 50 cent, man.
This is an old stack. Because I have, with the new job, I ain't made it to the comic store in like 2 weeks. I've been bagging and boarding old stuff and finding a bunch of stuff. I did get some stuff in though. That's what I was looking for. I pulled up my variant cover for Thor 14 finally came in that I've been waiting on.
Oh, nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
Is that a sword? Is that a sword too?
Yeah, that's Lady Sif right there in the front with him.
Oh, I didn't see her. I just saw him. That's dope. I like that.
I like it because they put him in his, even though he's got the new suit, they didn't put him in it on the cover, and I like it.
That's from the current one?
That's issue 14.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one.
Wonder Woman 64, Art Graham cover.
Oh, that's nice.
Art Germ, boy, that Joker, he can draw.
Man, don't you know? I was able to find this Year the Villains Cheetah cover, Wonder Woman 77.
Man, he Cheetah. Cheetah, come on in for a
That's the OnlyFans cover.
Right? That's the OnlyFans Cheetah cover. What I was really waiting on came in. I'm glad it came in before we got to the show. Was one of these two? Was this one? I got an autographed, signed issue of Saga, issue 43, and it's got a certificate to go with it. I was able to pick it up. It's signed by Brian. Then I also was able to get issue 54 signed. I was able to pick that up.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been waiting on them to come in. And then I picked up 2 variant covers for for Buffy issue number 2. The regular cover of Giles, and then they did vampire covers of the opposite for everybody. The same comic. They did a vampire variant for the covers. So I picked up the regular and the vampire variant, so you the 2 differences. Then they did them for everybody on different covers.
You still read Buffy, man? How is it?
It's actually pretty good. They ended the Angel comic at issue 16, but the Buffy comic is actually still going on. It's actually still pretty good. They decided to take it in a completely different route than the TV show, so it's not just exactly the same. And that's the only reason I read it, because the TV show was horrible to me. I've been watching it with my wife because she wanted me to watch it. And I'm just like, I'm not a fan.
Like greatest shows of all time.
You can stop yourself right there.
What you think opened the door? What you think opened the door for all this stuff you watching right now?
Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor.
Ellen Ripley. Ellen Ripley. Sarah Connor. No, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The original show was alright. It should have ended at season 5 because that's where it was supposed to end, and they didn't. And the show got bad after that. But the comic is still pretty good. But that's again, like we talked about independence. Boom Studios is killing it with their independent comics that they dropping. We only find them when they dead. Buffy, Secret 7, Something's Killing the Children. Like every time you turn around, boom, you looking at a comic and you hear somebody talking about it. It's a Boom Studios comic.
That's right.
And they only find them when they did Lost Me, dog, at like issue 4.
They ain't but 6 issues.
The 6th issue just came out, and it's been like so much.
Like they lost issue 4. They ain't but 6. Like,
it was only supposed to be 5, and then they made it go extended.
I was surprised. I didn't think there was gonna be anything either. So it's decent though. I give it credit. It's a good comic.
It's cool. Like, it's kind of it was like anticlimactic. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
I like
that's all. But that's all I got. That's it for me. I was just looking through organizing stuff while y'all was showing off y'all's. This stack, Sean trying to put me out for my stack. This stack ain't nothing but old comic book.
Yeah. Baby Godzilla. We got Big Daddy Godzilla.
You can go swim in your coins now, bro. You know.
Look at man. Leave me alone. I'm trying to be creative. Okay. All right. So I got Godzilla and Godzilla Jr. the Third to help me, right?
You gonna get Mecha Godzilla?
I want Mecha Godzilla, but I can't find him. I want Jaguar too. Matter of fact, I got the big one. I'll show you when I get done. This one, big one.
Where Godzuki at, man?
He's somewhere at the store. I don't want Godzuki, man. Godzuki is a joke. But I got the big Godzilla.
He could be King Kong.
Whatever. Yeah. King Kong. King Kong's a simp. Anyway, I got the big Godzilla from Dave's Comics. Shout out to Dave's Comics in Fayetteville. Okay. Shout out to Matt for giving me this first book. I'm gonna show my back issues first, and I'm gonna show my new stuff. I got a good bit of stuff to show this evening, so I'm gonna try to go as quick as possible. I know y'all noticed that my name is Dusty Brick Brown. And can anybody tell me where the axiom of cream and spies came from?
I got nothing.
Okay. The axiom of cream and spies came from the book that I'm going to show you that Matt got for me, courtesy of Matt Odom. One of the best hip-hop albums of the 90s. The axiom of cream and spies is one of the songs that's on the Diggable Planet Blowout Home.
Oh, that's why.
And Pastor Walker. So what? Go ahead, Chris.
I was saying, me and you done talked about Diggable Planets and Blowout Comb. You know,
Blowout Comb is one of the best hip hop albums that came out in the 90s. Very underrated. Shout out to Matt Odom. Godzilla ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing, but shout out to Matt Odom for getting this. He said he found it in a dollar bin.
I'm gonna have to go look for it just to get it, just to have it. I'm gonna have to hunt that down.
This is the old Diggable Planets Blowout Comb. All right, next on the list is going to be a series of books I got from Luther.
I wonder if you can get them to sign it. They ain't doing nothing.
Won't be a bad idea, but
Big Luther
Avengers Academy 21. Avengers Academy 24. Man, you know, it was crazy because when I went in doggone Godzilla, you ain't doing your job, man. But
so like he ain't standing there to hold no comics. He wants to fuck
right.
shit up.
Me and Godzilla gonna have to have a talk after the show. But
Godzilla, like, you ain't paying me enough.
No, but seriously though, man, this is the deal, right? I was in Primetime Gaming, one of our local comic book shops Wednesday. And the guy named Luther was in there. He was like, man, you need to go online and look at Avengers Academy #1. I'm like, why? He said, man, the book is like a $50 book. I'm like, what in the world? So I was collecting this way back when. I already got issue #1, so I'm just trying to catch up and get all the back issues before they jump up in price. Avengers Academy 31. And again, all these came from Luther, so shout out to him. Issue 35.
Oh, Luther and them.
Luther 36. I mean, man, you had me talking about Luther 36. Avengers Academy 36. 37. And now these I actually got from Primetime Gaming. Number 11. Number 16.
Hey, what did you pay a cover price?
Now, yeah, these were in the dollar bin. Thank the Lord.
I haven't seen them. I already had them.
Yeah, number 17. Number 18.
See, it's easy to find stuff now that scans be doing.
Yeah, the ultimate sacrifice. Ultimate sacrifice. He made it easier so we can look for stuff. A sacrifice may not be in vain. If you're watching Thomas Skaggs, big ups, brother.
We love you, brother.
We love you, brother. Number 30 and number 32. So with these, I'm only short about 7 issues before I had that full run. On to the new stuff. I didn't know anything about this book, but I saw it up. This is the second print of this book, Black Cotton #1. And basically, it's kind of like it's more or less a comic book where the roles are flipped in America. Black people are the ones that actually came out after slavery and all this kind of stuff. So more black people are affluent, that type of thing. So this is the second print of #1. And then I got the A cover of #2. I ordered the A cover of #1, so I'll be getting that one in the mail hopefully soon. Children of the Atom #3. This still is piquing my interest, so I'm gonna hold on to it. Larry, don't say nothing.
Hey man, you never have too many X books, man.
Whatever. I absolutely love this book right here. This is Godzilla Monsters and Protectors #2. This is the Toho variant. This is the B cover. They had a 1 in 25, but the 1 in 25 looked like garbage, and it was $10. Carmen #3. These books have, I don't know what it is about these books. I just love the covers. The Many Deaths of Layla Starr #2. The little foil cover. I actually put this on my pull list, so if the B covers look like that, I think I'm gonna collect all of them. I got Geiger #2, A cover. I got Geiger #1, third print, I think. What print is this? Yeah, third print, #1. Rain Like Hammers, #5. This conclusion of the story. I haven't read it yet, but I was really digging this story. The Red Room, #1. My man, Ultraman, The Trials of Ultraman #3. Where X #2. This actually brings back an old villain of the X-Men. Don't say nothing, Larry. We only find them when they're dead #6. I'm sorry, Remo. But I like this book, man. And let's see here. 3 more books, and I'll be done. You Promised Me Darkness #2.
So just explain something to me, Al. What happened at the end of 5? Did they find was that God alive? So what happened? That was how it ended.
It was
almost like they got the tetanus when he woke up. Like, what the hell y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, so
yeah.
That's what happened then?
As far as I can tell, that's what it seemed like. He was.
Yeah.
I don't know what issue 6 gonna be about.
Yeah, okay, so I'm about to read 6 then. Okay. I'm back.
All right, so I got that 8. I don't know if this the A cover or not. So what I did, I went ahead and got all of them. Oh God, it's about to fall. You Only Promised Me Darkness. I don't know what print this is, but this is #2, and this one right here. And that's gonna do it for me. Take it away, Larry.
Yo.
Oh, and he was busy getting his books.
Yeah, I had to find stuff out. I didn't know if I was going to actually pull them out, but I guess all y'all pulled y'all out. So, we'll start out with Marvel Spider-Man 25 variant. I don't know if anybody got the rest of these with all the names of the creators on the side.
When did that come out?
Last week, I want to say. Then that was the A-Code, the Clone Saga. Five Brothers got his own Clone Saga.
There's no reason.
And the start of the X books. X-Force, Robert Lee Field. You know, Deadpool turned 30 this year, so X-Men Legends #3.
Hey, is that an homage to the X Factor #1 cover?
Yep, it surely is. And New Mutants #17. You know, you can never go wrong with Natasha Romanoff for Spider-Man and the Black Widow.
Oh, I need that book. Marvel Team Up.
Yep, and there's another one with Spider-Man and Natasha there.
Oh, where you get them from?
Never give up my secrets.
Man, you can tell me it ain't like I can't go get them because you already bought it.
I got it from Prime Time, man.
Really? Those must be new. He must have got those recently.
Man. More Natasha with the champions.
It said, "Win a Toys R Us shopping spree, boy." Woof.
Yeah.
Headlines, man.
Man.
Hey, Larry, I got a question for you, man.
I used to try and win them every year, dog.
If you ever met Scarlett Johansson, would you have her sign one of your comic books?
You damn real.
Which one?
Oh, I got the variant with her on it, so I'll probably do that one.
Okay.
The movie variant. But if the champions, the new champions, that is, my homegirl Cindy Moon, and Silk. This was one that went up. I don't know if the character's gonna stay, but Black Widow #6.
I'm so mad I missed out on that character cover.
The one that gets the one in 25.
Yeah, that was the one I was trying to. No, I was trying to get the one in 10. I was trying to get the one in 10. They had it for like $20, and I passed on it. It was like $40.
Ooh, yeah.
Didn't even get the
other homegirl, America Chavez.
Like
this was a big book. Yeah, that was a big.
I forgot to get that one today. I got
the last one, yeah.
Said what, Matt?
I got the last one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got it before he pulled it like a week ago.
So he pulled it?
Yeah, I think he pulled it. But he messed around and left one.
Let's see. The Inhumans of Inhumans and the Black Widow. #1. Rob Lee Field. This field my run for this particular Captain America run with Lee Field.
Hey, you got the one
going up, Larry.
You got the one with the
yeah, that's just going up.
You got the one with the swole chest on it.
Yeah.
You got that one for real. Hey man,
hey,
let me see that when we get off Al, man. I want to see that swollen chest cap.
Why you want to see that, man?
I don't know nobody else that's got it, Sean. I just want to see
my eyes don't need to be blinded by that swollen chest, man.
Abnormal chest cap.
This field my run for all new Ultimates with Ultimate
That book been in my cart for about a month.
We'll see you have it on the next haul, Remo.
I can't pull the trigger for $12, man. I can't do it.
How much?
$12?
$12, yeah, $15. I need it for $1.
Let's see, there's more Natasha and Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This is the new stuff I think that came out this week. This is the Champions #7 that came out this week. And
nice.
Heroes Reborn. I ain't feeling it, but I collect the Marvel stuff, so keep going with it.
Yeah, drop it, man. You ain't got to feel it, man. Drop that shit, man.
No, you ain't got to feel it. No, it's only that you read the
Don't
story.
buy that, Larry. Buy Children of the Atom. Don't buy that.
Nah, I got you with that attitude. But Savage Avengers number 20 with Rhino and Conan, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for my one. I'm waiting for my 1 in 25 for this one to J. Scott. But Wonder Girl number 1. Yes, there's a DC book somewhere.
He didn't burst into flames holding a DC book, y'all.
About to say that too.
Man,
Marvel is not spelled DC.
Hey, I collect one of it, some of it, not all of it. Wolverine, Omega Red. Omega Red making his turn finally. Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe.
Boy, they be killing me with these doggone books, boy. Like, what kind of kung fu could go up against gamma radiation is beyond.
Right? Well, hey, look, Hulk is the only one that ain't on there. He be there every else.
He must be at McDonald's eating.
Black Knight, Curse of the Ebony Blade. It had my girl Elsa Bloodstone in it, so I picked it up. Let's see. Another picture of my homegirl Cindy. This is the second print variant for number 1. Elektra, that's Daredevil, finishing up that one. And she got a couple of more issues before Matt comes back. The Way of X, number 2, and the Mighty Valkyrie with Jane Foster. And that does it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
the championship belt on that now.
We have
you said champions earlier. I had to bring out the belt. Champion. hey, Larry, let me ask you: Did you enjoy the A&E biography on your boy Shawn Michaels?
I hadn't watched it, man. My homeboy just hit me up last week and told me, man, he said, "Hey, Shawn, Shawn had a bio." I was like, "Oh, I gotta go. I might watch it when I get it through with y'all, man."
Can't believe you ain't watch it, man. Die-hard HBK fan.
I mean, it ain't that I don't know, but it'd be interesting to see.
They're not telling me new stuff.
Man, you gotta watch the GOAT.
All right. Well, with that, everyone. All right. Well, with that, with Larry, Remo, myself, Al, Sean, and Chris, we are out. We'll see you all next weekend. Have a great night. Peace.